There are shows with psychics,
And there are shows with doctors.
but there's no show like The Psychic and the Doc.
Your practical paranormal power unleashed.
This show synthesizes the talents of world-class medium Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, psychic explorer,
And street smart spiritualist, behavioral psychologist, Dr. Pat Baccili. All subjects are on the table and no topic is taboo. Inspiration, insight.
action, and fun as Mark Anthony connects callers with loved ones in spirit.
In tandem with Dr. Pat's fresh, no-nonsense, street smart, intuitive insights. And she is hilarious.
Extraordinary problems
Require extraordinary solutions, which may come from this side
or the other side. This is The Psychic
and the Doc. And it starts now. Oh, welcome everybody. I'm Mark Anthony, the psychic, and I'm here with the incredible Dr. Pat, who is the Doc and a world-renowned behavioral psychologist. And this is the Psychic and the Doc. We got a great show for you tonight, and it's a combination of things. It's vibing the vinyl at the Lionsgate, because today, August 8th, 8/8 astrologically is known as the Lionsgate, because we are right in the midst of the Leo time frame. And but when Dr. Pat, we were talking about the theme for this show, and you came up with vibing the vinyl.
I did.
And and it's great. And what an auspicious day today is, because one of rock and roll's greats, Robbie Robertson, speaking of vinyl, I mean, one of the vinyl greats of all time, Robbie Robertson of a group called The Band, passed yesterday.
Yeah. I brought it up for several reasons. I'm really struck by the fact that I had to get this, I'm out here doing some great care work for Linda, who basically saved my life more times than I can imagine. And so this time I get to spend with her to help her, bring her health back up, and she's doing great. But I got this time, and what I realized is Linda loves music. She likes to have music, and we don't like the same music, but somehow her old system didn't work. And so I tried to get her brother and sister to donate one of theirs, and they're like, no. So I went looking. Now Linda doesn't want a big system. Here's what I found. I found these great new systems now. And what they have is they got the CD player, AM, FM, and a record play and a vinyl record player inside of them. They're beautiful. They're convenient. This one looks a little old school. It's all made of wood, and they have Bluetooth, they have USB, and I was just stunned by it. And so we pulled out the vinyl, and I know now why vinyl has come back, and why it doesn't matter what age you are. People really love to really listen to music on vinyl. There's something about it that gives you a level of authenticity and grit that the purity of digital remastering doesn't. What do you think, Mark?
I have to take the flip side of the coin, because when I was a kid, we used to have the 33 1/3 LPs. And then I remember when I got my first CD player, and I heard crystal clear, no pops and cracks. But there's a lot of people that for that very reason, they like the vinyl. And some of the world's greatest music was produced during the vinyl era. And technologically, when you look at something like the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's, they did that with a 4-track recorder, which means they could record 4 tracks at a time. I mean, and we did a show when the 56th anniversary of Sgt. Pepper came out. And earlier in that day, I just sat down with headphones and listened to the whole thing from start to finish. And it was like, holy cow. They were doing that with, by today's standards, bear skins and stone knives. And so in the digital era, so much is this hyper production. People don't make the music. Robbie Robertson, he wrote this song called about Harry Houdini called How to Become a Clairvoyant. I mean, wow. And he also was lead guitarist for Bob Dylan. And he wrote a song called Ghost Dance. So I think it's
Right.
only fitting that
Yeah.
this show tonight we are honoring him and all the other vinyl
Mhm.
greats. And for people, this is a call-in show, 1-800
Yes.
930-2819.
Now, the significance of us celebrating this along with Lionsgate is as follows. National Vinyl Record Day is August 12th. So that's the day when you got to pull out your vinyl. However, Lionsgate is what we're going to incorporate in our callers and readings tonight. And the 12th is the last day of the energy of that. It started in July. 8/8 was the pivotal. It is not a surprise to me, correct me, y'all, if I'm wrong on this, that the largest lottery ticket giveaway, 1.5 billion, was selected on what day, Rocky? Right? 8/8 is the pivotal day when the portal is fullest and fully open. It is the day for everybody to manifest. You must manifest. Now, I don't know who this person is down there that won that lottery ticket, but I'm telling you, call me and I'll fill you in. But probably if you've won, I don't need to fill you in, right, Mark?
Yeah,
You
what you
probably have
need
to fill
is
me in.
you need an accounting firm and a very reliable investment broker. But at any rate,
Yeah, or we
yeah,
could give you the Billionaire Show on Transformation Network.
that's right. Yes, you could support it. You could do a charitable contribution to the Transformation Network. But you know, and whoever won that, congratulations.
Congratulations.
And do good
Yes.
with it. Do some good. Do some
Oh,
good.
yeah. Yeah. And look, that's what we're doing on the show today. Many people we are watching that are walking and transitioning off of this earth plane, off of the skin. You know, you all heard me talk about my sadness around Sinead O'Connor, and, you know, for many, many reasons. But we honor people that are here on earth, and we honor people that have transitioned off. So that's why this is a live call-in show. Now, before we jump to the phones, Mark, anything you want to update us on?
I do, and I'm so glad that you talked about how the Lionsgate is from 8/8 to 8/12, because this Saturday, which is August 12th,
Yeah.
I am doing an active webinar, which is sponsored by IANS, IANS Groups and Events. IANS is the International Association for Near-Death Studies. And tickets are $10 for general admission, $5 for IANS members. If you go to my website, afterlifefrequency.com, and you'll see it in the calendar events, click on that and you can get tickets. And my presentation is called the NDE Zone. And the subtitle is Connected by the Light from the Cosmic to the Subatomic. And I'm going to take you on a journey through time into science to understand consciousness from a scientific standpoint. And there's going to be plenty of spirituality, but please be advised, this will not be boring, I guarantee. That's the NDE Zone this Saturday, August 12th. It will be at 1 p.m. Eastern, which is, I believe, 10 a.m. Pacific. And if you visit my website, afterlifefrequency.com, you can get tickets for that. And I invite all of you to this. And IANS is a wonderful organization. Yeah, we've had a number of IANS luminaries on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite an honor to work with them.
Yeah. Now we're going to take a 30-second break. And when we come back, we're going to go right to the phones. I think we've got Sarah. I think we've got Susan waiting for us. I think we've got Michelle and much more. Again, 30-second break. We'll be coming back. Please turn off your radio in the background and make sure you're using a very, very clear phone. I'll try to help you out on that before I turn you over to Mark. Sierra, let's take a 30-second break, everybody. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. You are listening to The Psychic and the Doc. A couple things we want to mention. This is, of course, a celebration of vinyl, but also Lionsgate, and it's a very important show. We're going to go right to the phone, take your call. A couple things we do want to mention, and our hearts go out. Mark, you want to?
Yeah, Hawaii, specifically Maui, our hearts go out to you. Hawaii is very special. It's a very special and unique place. It's very special to Dr. Pat, to Rocky,
Yep.
to Sierra, to me. I've spent a lot of time there. And for all the people in Hawaii that are enduring these horrific fires, our hearts go out to you, and you are going to be in our prayers. And I understand there's a lot of relief efforts being founded. So for all of our listeners, if you want to help out, please contribute to the relief effort. The historic city of Lahaina, I understand, was burned to the ground, and I'm devastated. It was just, Maui is the closest thing to paradise on earth, and I mean, I don't want to see that happen anywhere, but to such a beautiful place. So to all of our Hawaiian brothers and sisters, our hearts are with you.
Yeah. And, please, also, anything you can do, please go online, check out the support activities, what's going on. Also, our hearts go out to the 30 plus people's lives that have been lost so far. We know it's devastating. I think our producer Sierra just mentioned that there are airlines, especially Alaska, I think, that is really opening up to help people there. So there's just so much more that we can all do, but prayers, they do a lot. Look, lots to talk about tonight. Sarah, let's go to the phones. Who would you like to bring on first?
Up first, I have Sarah from New York. Sarah from New York, you are
Hi,
live.
Sarah.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Welcome to the show. You know, you're going to make me sing now. You know that, right?
Well, I'm a singer, so that's perfect. And
Okay,
actually,
so-
I have called in before, once
Yes.
before.
Yes. And you're calling in because we did such a great job last time.
You did, both you, Dr. Pat, and Mark. Actually, my father and I, we listen to you all the time, every week. And actually, my father is Tom from Italy.
Yes,
and so, yes.
When the moon's in the sky like a big
we were talking
pizza
about
pie.
Tom last week. We're like, where's the Tom? Okay.
He is in the other room,
Okay.
but I wanted to call just because I'm at a crossroads, and you both helped me out so good last time, and I wanted to call in again.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn you over to Mark first. We're going to see what we can do. We're going to see what we can do to give you some insight. And then I love that you use the term crossroads. It's one of my favorite phrases. And when you get back to me, I'll explain why. Mark.
Okay. Hi, Sarah. Let me see who's coming through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. You could do a full-blown one-on-one reading, because we got 4 spirits lined up to talk to you. But the first, there was a woman, but then she took a step back, and there's a male coming through. He looks like he was probably in his late 50s, early 60s when he passed. And what I'm getting with him is sharp pain in the chest and then a sharp pain in the head. So this could indicate like a stroke, heart attack combo, or sometimes with a when you get a heart attack, it triggers a stroke. Sometimes when you get a stroke, it triggers a heart attack. But the point is that he had very little or no warning about this. Took him really quickly. The thing is, he doesn't necessarily feel like a relative, but he feels like family. In other words, he was very close to you and to your dad and to your family. And it does seem like you got to know his family when you were in Italy, because I'm seeing, it looks like I'm in Italy. It looks like more northern Italy than southern Italy. And what I'm getting with him is okay, does any of this make sense to you, Sarah? Are you there?
Hey, Sarah, are you there?
I'm having trouble understanding exactly. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, you're breaking up a
Barely.
little
Yeah,
bit.
you're
You
you're
got a
breaking
little,
up.
you got a little cell phone. Maybe you can move your cell phone to another part of the room. I think you're breaking up there a little bit.
Sure. Can you hear me now?
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
that's much better.
Oh.
Okay. All right. I lost him. He's gone. All right. So now you got a female energy coming through. Now this woman is connected to you through your mother's side of the family. And what I'm getting with her is her passing took some time. Her lungs were filling up with fluid. This could be congestive heart failure or some type of lung issue. She was pretty lucid up to the end. She may have been very heavily medicated though, because of the pain and discomfort, because I'm getting a lot of pains in my back and my chest. And it seems like it was spreading throughout her body. So it feels like it was more than just like congestive heart failure. It feels, based on the sensations I'm getting throughout my body, like a cancerous condition. Does this make sense to you in any way?
Yes, it's either my aunt or my grandmother.
Okay, and they're all both on your mom's side of the family, maternal side?
Yes.
Okay. It's interesting because the guy that you had a hard time, there's a guy that was late 50s, early 60s connected to you through Italy somehow, but I want to focus on this spirit. And the spirit is giving me an opal. It's interesting because now, yeah, I'm getting an opal, and the opal is the birthstone for the month of October. And that could indicate a significant birth, death, anniversary, or event connected to you or someone close to you in October. But I have a feeling that October is part of this crossroads because there's a pivotal decision that you have to make, which is coming up. And October really isn't that far. It's like 2 months away. And it's going to be mid-October, around the 15th, when you're making this decision. And for some reason, it does not involve Italy. I'm focusing more on the U.S. Northeast around New York City. Does any of that make sense to you?
It could be career, or it could be my romantic relationship, which I'm at a crossroads. I don't know which one, or something else.
Or something else. All right. Either one of those involve New York City, or, the New York area. The problem with upcoming events is your career does. Okay. So a lot of times they'll say, well, does that make sense? Well, it hasn't happened yet, so you wouldn't know if it made sense. You're being told by her not to worry about your relationship. That's going to work itself out. Your focus needs to be on your career. And with that, she's letting me go.
All right. May I, Mark?
Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question.
Thank you.
It's never a mistake when two things come up. So I'm going to connect the two because I think they are related, but you have to help me a minute here. I love that you're at a crossroads. Can you define to me what a crossroads means to you so I don't misunderstand you?
We need a quicker response, Sarah.
Yeah. Let me tell you why I'm asking. I've been at many
no problem. Sorry.
Go ahead. I've been at a lot of crossroads in my life.
I'll go for it. Sure. That I could take a couple of different routes.
That's it. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, that I could take a couple of different routes.
Okay. Yeah. And so here's my question. If you take one route with a career, are you concerned about how it's going to impact your relationship, or vice versa? If you take a route for your relationship, are you worried how it's going to affect your career?
Yes, but I'm more at a crossroads of, do I continue with the relationship or do I stop here?
Yeah. So I'm never this blunt on this show, but I'm going to be, probably because I'm still in Jersey right now. Whenever that question has ever come up for anybody I've ever coached or for myself, you already know the answer, or you wouldn't be asking the question. You already know. You know, right? Okay, come on. Come on.
Sure.
You're going to have to buy me a pizza.
Sure.
If I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, I'll buy you a pizza. But you know what I'm saying. You already know that this is not a crossroads in your relationship. It's a dead end. Hello. Hello. Is that a little too strong
Sure.
for you?
No, I love it. Keep going.
All right. So, but I'm on track. And you're doing all the heavy lifting,
Oh, yeah.
correct? Right? You're doing the heavy lifting,
Yes.
correct? Okay. And once upon a time, it was a 5-pound bag. Remember when you could buy things in 5-pound bags, and now you go to these big stores, I can't mention the name, and you don't buy anything for less than like a 20-pound bag. 5 pounds is pretty easy to carry. 20 pounds, a little heavy. You're tired of carrying the weight. Am I correct or not?
Yes.
Okay. Why are you waffling about it? Come on. What's your why? Don't give me the
My
details.
why,
Yeah.
I just don't know if I'm going to be happy or not with the changes this person is making going forward.
Yeah,
with his
you're not
family
happy.
and
You're not happy. You're already not happy. You already see the future, right? And you're like, oopsie, red flag.
well, I see it up until now. I have not been happy, and now this person's making changes, and I'm wondering if I will be happy with these changes going forward.
Yeah. How many times have you done this where that has worked for you? Look, this is something you've been asking to change for a while. This is not new. My sense, Sarah, this is not new. You've been asking for changes to be
Exactly.
made for a while. And now when you've drawn a line in the sand, you're getting a little breadcrumb here. A breadcrumb is not the entire pizza.
Right.
My best friend says, talk is cheap. Action and behavior is everything. You can take a pause and give yourself a moment. Last question I'm going to ask you, and you do not have to answer on air because I know we've got other callers. What's your birthday month, and what is your partner's birthday month? The person's birthday month, just a month.
I'm November, a Scorpio, and he is October, but also a Scorpio.
Yeah, and what was the month that Mr. Mark brought up?
October.
Hello.
Dun, 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 dun,
And how
dun,
come
dun,
I
dun.
knew that? And yeah, and how did I know that? So here's what's going on. You have got all the information you need. You're not trusting yourself. You're trusting false evidence. You're not trusting yourself, and you're not trusting your gut. You have been asking for change for a long time. You know, you've been
Yeah.
asking. It's like being in a relationship with somebody and saying, dude, you know, you have had those jockey shorts on for 3 weeks. Are you going to change them? Seriously speaking,
Exactly.
it's like 3 weeks. Are you going to change them? And what happens with that is, oh yeah, okay, well, I'm leaving you if you don't change. Oh, okay, I'll change them. And then 3 weeks go by, and you got a new pair of jockey shorts that are on for 3 weeks. Now, doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. I wear jockey shorts. I love them. Too much information. But Sarah, you understand that you have everything you need. You're good to go on this. You can do it kindly and you can do it gently. Okay.
Okay. Thank you
I
so
don't
much,
want you,
both of you.
I don't want you to take action until the 12th. The 12th is the last day of Lionsgate.
Sounds good.
But don't wait past the 12th. Okay.
All right. Thank you for
Thank you,
calling in,
Sarah.
Sarah. All right.
Thanks.
Okay. We're going to have to check in with Sarah. Okay. Who do we have next? Let's go, Sierra.
Up next, I have Susan from Colorado. Susan from Colorado, you are live.
Hey, Susan. How are you? I'm going to hop you right over to Mark. How are you doing? Susan.
Hello. Well, who do we have next?
Yeah. Susan, we'll have to get you back. Not sure where you went. Sierra, let's go. Let's keep moving on. If Susan comes back, we'll rock it. Okay. Who's after Susan?
After Susan, we have Michelle from North Carolina. Michelle,
I
you are
love it.
live.
Hi, Michelle. Welcome to the Psychic in the Dock. How can we help you tonight?
Hello, Michelle.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
hi,
Michelle.
Michelle. How can we help you tonight?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, just touching base to see if any family members come through or my husband.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you, are you on a speakerphone, a landline? What do you want? I need to make sure your signal is
Yeah.
really clear.
I'm on a speakerphone.
Take
Get off
yourself
the
off the
speakerphone.
speakerphone.
Oh,
Right, for the benefit
okay.
of
Is
all
that
the
better?
call,
All right,
all right, hold on.
no,
For the benefit of all the callers and all the listeners,
yeah.
in order for me to communicate with the other side, I need a clear connection with you. Speakerphone's got to go. Any distortion, hums, buzzes. If you have a radio or your computer speakers on in the background, turn them off.
Yeah.
Everything I do is about frequency. So that doesn't work. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotcha.
So,
Yes, sir.
all
Yeah.
right, Michelle. All right. How can I help you?
Hoping to hear from family member if possible.
Okay.
All right. You said your husband, because I got a guy coming through that is chomping at the bit to talk to you, Michelle. And he's coming
Bring
through,
him on.
and I'm getting this massive tightness in my chest. And when he focuses on his chest, I'm getting a tremendous amount of problems with the left ventricle. Now, I don't want to jump to the conclusion that it's your husband yet, because it could be another male connected to you. And I'm getting with him that he was losing his hair. He had like that male pattern baldness, but he still had hair around his ears and back of his head. It seems like had a couple pounds overweight. He's like, hey, cut me some slack here. Funny guy, nice guy. But what he's telling me is that there were some warning signs going on with this chest condition, and I'm feeling my left arm, left side going numb. So that could be a right brain stroke, which affects the left side of your body. But based on what I'm getting in the chest, this would be consistent with a cardiac arrest. Does this make sense to you in any way?
Not with cardiac aspect of it.
Okay. Anything
But
with
the
his
left
heart?
side makes sense.
Well, all right.
Yes.
Hold on, Michelle. It's important that when I'm doing a reading, try not to interrupt me or talk over me, because that can cause me to lose the connection with the spirit. Also, when I do one-on-one readings, I do about a 10-minute orientation with people ahead of time. And different causes of death have a similar physical sensation. So if I'm getting something on the left side of my body, instead of saying no, 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 it's yes, it was the left side of the body, but it wasn't the heart. Because when you know things, you're creating, without meaning to, creating an energetic block, and spirits will back off. So what was it about the left side of his body that was making sense?
The heart was swelling and lung cancer.
Okay, so when I'm saying that he was having problems with his heart and it was swelling, and you're saying no, 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 it should have been yes, he was having problems with his heart. And I'm not faulting you, I'm instructing, because a lot of people come in and like, no, 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 because they're looking for, this is not Alexa. Okay, we are dealing with another dimension. Long story short, we got your husband. All right, and let's see what he wants you to know. Interesting. He's not being insulting here. He said, but you have a very hard time listening. And I'm not saying this because what's going on, but he said that you're not listening to the people around you, the people in your life. And he says, it doesn't mean that it's all about advice. You're not listening to their cares and their concerns. And he's worried about you because he said, generally, you're very giving, very compassionate, very empathic, and you feel for other people. He said, but lately you're in such a turmoil that you're isolating yourself from other people, and he doesn't want to see you being isolated. Okay. And he says, and you don't have to use margarine. For God's sakes, don't use margarine. What's up with the margarine? Margarine or the fake butter?
I have no.
All right.
I know. I don't know because I don't use it. No.
You don't use it. Okay. Well, you don't use it. So how about, yes, I don't use it. I could do a whole chapter on the no syndrome just with you. Okay, and the thing is though, it's easy to immediately jump to a conclusion. So you would never use margarine because in spirit communication, dislikes are just as important as likes when it comes to a piece of evidence. But let's get back to the message before that. Are you isolating yourself?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Dr. Pat, this sounds like your time to chime in.
Yeah, I mean, let me ask you a simple question. It's very difficult. I'm not sure if I know how long it's been since your husband passed. How long has it been?
A year and a half.
Okay. So, what are you regretting? I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. What are you
No, to go with
regretting?
it.
What are you regretting?
Probably us two being separated prior to him
That's
passing.
it. Yeah. So, okay. So I'm not gonna take up time on the show because this is very private, and I don't like to do. I don't like to do this with you on air. But I have to tell you this: there is no resentment from him. Mark will justify that.
Yes, absolutely.
There is no mistake in your separation. There is nothing you've done wrong in your separation. Sometimes life changes because it needs to. And if we all had a crystal ball and could predict 3 days from now, dot, 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 then maybe, in fact, we try to outsmart the universe, but the universe always wins. You understand? You
Right.
cannot outsmart the universe. And the universe, God, the universe, whatever you believe in, they don't do things so so you have to suffer. So are you willing to let go of the suffering over this regret? Are you willing to do
Yes.
that? Because you got to do that now, and you got to do it by the 12th. You got to let go of that.
Yes.
You really do. He's not going to hold you hostage for it. Probably, Mark would tell you, probably doesn't even think about it. But you're the one that's holding on to it. And you're going to hold on to an energy with this person. And I don't know how you feel about them, but you're going to hold on to an energy that is not representative of your true nature. And it's time to let it go.
Right.
So he's not going to give you a message.
Okay.
He's not going to come through and say,
Okay.
"Oh, honey, please forgive me," or "I forgive you," because they don't know. There's no forgiving. Mark, right?
Right.
Absolutely. And the thing is, Michelle, when he was talking about the isolation, that related to what was going on with the two of you. And like Dr. Pat said, we don't want to intrude on your privacy, but he is telling you that you're hurting yourself by becoming isolated. And so reach out to your friends, to your family. He doesn't need you to apologize. He said there's nothing to apologize for. He said we both made a decision at that time that we both felt was at that time the right thing to do. So now here you are. And what's happening is, without meaning to, he wants you to know that he feels that you're punishing yourself when you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't. I need you to get out and do something on the 12th.
Okay.
Do you understand? Okay. This is an energy
Okay.
that you're releasing right here, right now with us. I want you to know that there's everything about you that is perfect and divine. There are no mistakes in your life, not past, not present, not future. You're a powerful being. You're a woman that made powerful decisions. You made those decisions and you're whole, perfect, and complete from them. And so really embrace the idea of your fullness and your wholeness. And you're not separated or isolated from anything, because love is an energy. And the only thing that separates love is human beings, because we make up separation. Love doesn't separate.
Right.
Kindness doesn't
Right.
separate. And it's time for you to take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, let yourself go, and celebrate yourself and the time you had. No more regrets. Do you agree to do that?
Yes.
A little bit louder. I got to hear you on this one.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
All right. And he wants to leave you literally with a bowl full of cherries, fresh cherries. So there could be somebody named Sherry, Jerry, or Barry, or unless you love or hate cherries, he's giving you a bowl, and I can taste them. They're those deep, almost black cherries. Taste really
Oh
good.
my goodness.
So
My
there's
favorite
something
ice
about
cream.
you. Is it really? Okay.
Oh,
well,
black cherry. Oh my God. I bought myself a new cherry pitter. Black cherry ice cream. All right. Go ahead, Michelle. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you.
Thank you again.
You bet. Mark, before we go, we're going to go to the caller, next call right away. But people want to know how they can find out about you. For us, just go to the Transformation Network, Transformation Talk Radio, Google Dr. Pat, boom. Mark, how about you?
Sure. Afterlifefrequency.com. It's the same as my new book, The Afterlife Frequency. And this Saturday, I'm giving a webinar, the NDE Zone. And you can find out about getting tickets for it. And it is at afterlifefrequency.com. Well, Dr. Pat, like you said, I think we need to go to another caller.
Let's do it. Sierra, who do we have?
Our next caller is round 2 with Susan from Colorado. Susan,
I like it.
you are live.
Hey, Susan, how can we help you? I'm glad you got back.
Yeah, I'm kind of not very good at this phone and this computer thing. Can you hear me?
We got you loud and clear.
Can you hear?
I'm gonna yeah, can you hear us? I'm going to turn you over to Mark, but I need to make sure you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So, Mark, here we go with Susan.
So,
All right, Susan, how can I help you?
well, I've been back. For some reason, I didn't realize it, but I've been to you in Denver, Colorado a long time ago. And I came here because I'd like some more information on my daughter. And since then, my mom, dad, and sister.
Oh,
Wow,
okay.
okay.
Well, now this is a mini reading, so whoever comes through,
Right.
we'll talk to first. Do you have a son as well who's in this world?
Yes.
Okay. And the reason I'm asking is because it seems like your daughter wants to talk to you about your son. And she said
No.
that I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
Okay. She said that he's very, very pensive, like very tense lately, and he's filled with worry and woe. So something is really going on with him, which is just eating him up emotionally. And it's like you and he even need to reconnect, or if you have a good relationship, you need to further it. But there's something about a connection between you and your son that needs to be rebuilt. And she's not faulting anyone. She said that there's just this tension, but he is going through a lot of turmoil right now. Does that make any sense to you?
Maybe you could.
I'm sorry?
Maybe you could ask her. Maybe you could ask her how.
How?
Because
okay.
He's a computer programmer, and he's a lead person in the company. And he's got a lot of pressure on him every day. He works all the time.
Well, certainly. And I'm not being funny when I say this, but when you said you're having problems with your computer, the first thing she said was, ask him for help with your computer. And she said, because once you start, hold on, you need to listen. Stop interrupting.
Oh.
Okay. Because when you start asking him for advice that validates him in his relationship with you, because she said no matter what he does in life, he's always going to be your little boy, and he needs to feel that he is perceived differently. So that's what she wants you to know. Okay. And she's holding up a diamond, and diamonds are the birthstone for the month of April. So there could be a significant birth, death, anniversary, or event, which may be connected to him, to you, to your daughter, or your parents, or your sister within the month of April.
I think my dad passed in April.
And there you go. So your dad's chiming in on that one as well. And everybody, all of your spirits, they know, that you're having a really rough time. I mean, who wouldn't? Most of your family has passed, but they're there with you. And what they're underscoring, and I'll turn you over to Dr. Pat, is that your relationship with your son He is the accessible family to you now. And that's what you need to focus. They say have an open door policy with him. Like let him know he is always welcome.
Mm.
Dr. Pat?
Do you miss your son, Susan?
Do I
How much?
miss
How
him?
how much do you
I
miss
see him
your
every
son?
day. I live with him, but
I know. I know, but let me try to rephrase my question. Do you miss your son?
of course.
Yeah. The hardest thing for many of us that live with people we care for, it's almost harder when they're there, but they're not there. Am I making sense, Susan?
Yes.
Okay. Have you
Um,
told him? Have you told him you missed him? Have you told him you really appreciate?
Oh yeah, there's times when I get in his face and I say, "I love you," because he
Oh
sits
my
in the
God.
chair.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, I got nothing for you. You know, that right
But
there,
my
if
question,
everybody did what you did, what is your question? Let's see if I can help you with that.
I need to know how I can step up, like Mark told me through my daughter last time, to be in my granddaughter's life.
Yeah.
How can I build a relationship with her again?
Man, you know, you have the makings of anything that you want with relationships. The fact that gesture to your son where you walk up to him and you give him a hug, what do you, real quick, what's your greatest challenge that you see with getting close? What's the challenge? I'm not feeling a
The
challenge.
challenge,
But
okay, my granddaughter is 25
yeah,
and I'm 72. Something happened. I didn't see her for 3 years. She says she wants to build a relationship, but she never responds to my text.
yes.
So I
So
get to
text
see her
him.
maybe twice or three times a year.
Yep. So you got to start with where you are. It is very difficult when somebody says and reaches out and says, I want to have a relationship with you, you may have to figure out something other than texting. And it may be something like calling her and saying, I don't know her name, but if her name were Mary, I know you may not get this message, but I'm sending you a big hug. You see, this is the way you have to do it sometimes for people that don't know how. We have to model something for them they don't know. You know, even an emoji hugging text, even something. But you have to clear
Well,
your energy.
I fear that she's going through a lot of pain because of her mother.
She
12
probably
years
is.
ago, her mother,
I
and I
believe
don't think
me,
I don't know if she's assessed
you
it
can't
or
help her
worked
with that.
through grief.
Yeah, you cannot help her with that at the moment. You have to start by building a love relationship with her and letting her know you're there for her. Please think about doing that. Because somebody doesn't reply to a text, it doesn't mean they don't want to. Do you understand? They may not know how. Call, leave a loving message. I love you. I'm here for you. Write her a letter.
I've
Geez,
been,
what the heck happened with people
I've,
I
writing
know,
letters?
writing
Holy
letters.
cow.
Nobody writes
Write her a
letters.
I don't
beautiful,
have her
loving letter.
address. I don't have her address, and she won't give it to me. So I'm like, my hands are tied, except sending
Then
her
work
a
with
text
what you
because
got. Work
her
with the
mailbox is
phone.
full.
Work with what you got.
Okay.
I'm just saying, but put out the vibration of love. This is somebody, and I can't go into it on the show. My sense is of her. You're right. She is struggling, but you may not be able to help her or save her. Just send loving energy. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
That's
Thank you
it.
for
That's all
calling
Thank
you
in.
can
you.
do.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mark.
Thank you.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Let's take a 30-second break. When we come back, we're going to get to Joy from Texas. Wow. Hey, everybody. What a great show. Welcome back to the Psychic and the Doc. Ready to go right to the phone. Sierra, who do we have next?
up next, we have Karina or Corinna from California. You are
Yeah.
live.
Hey, welcome to the show. How can we help you? Is it Karina or is it Corinna?
Karina.
Karina. I
Karina.
love it.
Karina.
Sweet. How
Yes.
can we help you, Karina?
Hi. I made a connection with a friend when I started a new job recently, and then she ended up retiring. And at first, she really made like an initiative
Hold
to
on,
like
hold on,
be
Karina,
like
Karina. It's you have a
yes.
friend, a female friend in spirit. That's all I need because
Well, I don't know that she's in spirit.
is she in spirit?
No, she's not. No.
Okay,
No.
then who do you want to talk to
Who
in
would you like
spirit?
to connect with?
Or
in
do you just
spirit?
want advice from us?
Well,
I can.
You
I
gotta
can give
I
you
realize
just
advice.
wanted advice.
I
I can
talk
give
to
you
spirits.
advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead,
All right,
Dr.
so
Pat.
tell me about your friend. Go ahead. I loved friend stories.
Okay. Yeah. So, we got really off to a good start.
Yeah.
She retired and then she really like retracted and,
Yeah.
I was
Disappeared.
texting her, but
Yeah.
disappeared, texting her.
Gone.
She did respond. But I noticed like, she wasn't texting me like before or
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
communication just on her end ended. And I was like, well, what happened there?
Okay.
I got really
All right.
attached to her.
Okay. I'm going to explain it to you really quickly. Retirees and retirement is, everybody thinks it's so complicated. It's not. Let me explain what happens to the person that retires. Their entire life changes. You see, it's kind of like when two people get divorced and one of them gets all the friends. When you retire, your life has changed. Now, I don't know enough about this person to know if she had a game plan, a blueprint, knew what she was going to do, had $1 million and took off to the Bahamas with somebody she met. I don't know that. But the emotional side of retirement, it hits people, Karina, harder than you can imagine. Really hard. If this is the case, what I would ask you to do is keep gently reaching out. If her name is Mary, it's like, Mary, I know this is Karina. You're probably in your new life. Just know that I'm thinking about you. See, that's the way you have to do it, because a lot of times we think it's us and it's not us. Her whole life has changed. You get up and you're going to the job, right? Karina, you're still going to the job?
Yes.
You're not retired. You have purpose.
Yeah.
I don't know if she has purpose. This is a huge transition for people. Sometimes, in order for them to grieve their job loss, it is a job loss. And I don't care if you have the worst job in the world, you still love that worst job. But she may need a little time because you may remind her of that which she does not have anymore, and she has yet to replace it.
Dr. Pat, I completely agree. And Karina, a lot of times, and I've seen this, when people retire, don't take it personally. It's that sometimes they just want to leave everything behind.
Yeah.
And they're starting a new job, a new world. And it's easy to take it personally because this was somebody that you liked and respected. And now you feel like, well, gosh, she just dumped me. But I don't think that that's what's going on. I think Dr. Pat's right. So send her, say, hey, do you want to grab lunch someday, like on a Saturday or something, and see how she responds. But don't take it personally because sometimes it's like when people get divorced and all of a sudden their married friends go by the wayside because they're starting a whole new single thing. It's kind of like that. What do you think, Dr. Pat?
I agree with you. And the other thing I would guide you to not get into a spot where you're saying, how's your retirement going? Because somebody that's not doing well in this phase of retirement, that is the last question they want anybody to ask them. Just say, hey, Mary, I'm thinking about you. I hope you're doing well. If you need anything, I'm here for you. Okay. Can you do that? Can you try that?
Okay.
Try
yes,
that.
I sure will.
Yeah,
Sure will.
I'm telling
Yes,
you,
wonderful.
having
Thank
retired, I have retired 3 times from 3 different jobs. And I'll tell you, the 25-year one, if I didn't go to school right after that, it was a shock. When I was done with school, I was lost and it hit me. So I know what this could be like for her. But you're a loving person. Just send her some love. Come on, right?
Okay.
Do you know
I
where
sure
she
will.
lives?
Yes.
I'm not telling you, don't stalk her, but do you know where she lives?
Yeah, no stalking.
No.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So if you knew where she lived, I'd say send flowers, do something. But in this case, just send her the loving energy. Okay.
I sure will. Yes, I will.
Okay.
Thank you so
Wow,
much.
that's a
Or
great
these
question.
always, I could really use a piece of cheesecake. Do you want to go with me?
Yeah. I'm on a keto diet. What are you doing to me here? All right. Thank you so much. Wow.
Have
Thank
a
you.
great day. Thank you.
Thank you, you
Bye-bye.
too.
Thanks, Karina.
Now, I don't know. We got like a minute. I'm not sure we have time for another caller. Do you?
I don't, in a
No.
minute. Yeah, that would be hard. But
That'd be hard.
everybody, we're going to be back next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
And next week is August 17th. And we are coming up towards the end of Leo, and we're getting
Ooh.
close to Virgo. So,
Oh, my triple
the energy,
Virgo
yeah, the
friend.
energies
Oh,
are
my
going to
God.
be
Oh.
bubbling up.
Yeah, get your left brain on. That's good. That's what the title of our show should be. Get your left brain on.
That works.
Oh, please don't email me. That wasn't an insult. I love my best friend, left brain, triple Virgo Linda. I love her. I don't think I have a left brain.
Oh, yes, you do, Dr.
I
Pat.
do.
You
One
do.
more time, Mark, tell everybody about the event coming up, please, and give them your website.
Sure, it's an active webinar. It's called, my presentation is called the NDE Zone, and it explains how all the form of spirit communication between our world and the other side happens in a frequency in between, which I call the NDE zone. It's very, imagine if you will, the NDE zone. And I'll be presenting it this Saturday, August 12th. Go to my website at afterlifefrequency.com and get your tickets now.
And my final word tonight is I want to thank you, Sarah, because I now cannot get out of my brain my favorite top 10 song by Stevie Nicks, Sarah. Now you try to figure out the message in that song. Thank you, everybody, for tuning us in. Play that vinyl, turning us on. We'll see you next time.
Hey, everybody, thank you for tuning into The Psychic in the Doc with Mark Anthony and me, Dr. Pat Baccili, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Hey, look, come back next week so we can explore with you more of life's many challenges and learn from fascinating guests. And you know what? Even Mark and me. We'll connect you and discover insights from people in this life and from the afterlife. Extraordinary problems? Yeah, they do. They require extraordinary solutions. But step into the world of possibilities with us on The Psychic and the Doc. That's every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. That's TransformationTalkRadio.com. And don't forget, we're also live face-to-face on Facebook.com, Transformation Talk Radio.